Hello, and thank you for your interest in the pathways towards accreditation. This background briefing is recorded in spring 2024. We're very excited to let you know both where we've been as well as where we are headed, entering the third year of a grant to explore accreditation for sustainability and sustainability-related degree programs. In 2024, we will be working with the new National Sustainability Society to advance this work. My name is Krista Hiser, and I'm the Program Director for the Pathways Towards Accreditation Initiative. I'm excited to announce workshops at major conferences this fall, as well as 2 cohorts for program directors designing or evaluating their own sustainability degree programs, as well as helping us test out the work that has been developed thus far. We're really excited to gain your input. In this presentation, I'll bring you up to speed on the story of proliferation and messiness, as well as the sustainability skills gap. These are the conditions that we are seeking to improve with this work. I'll talk about updates to the key competencies in sustainability framework, as well as the 4D model, which unpacks dimensions of sustainability education across higher education. And lastly, I'll share the components and direction of the Pathways Towards Accreditation initiative. So here we go. We begin with the story of proliferation and messiness, first illustrated by the historical census reports commissioned by GCSE and conducted by Shirley Vincent. It's the story of a first sustainability degree program at Arizona State University, which was followed by more programs at more institutions until today there are over 1,000 sustainability degree programs. This is mostly the US and Canada. At the same time, we see a parallel increase in what Shirley Vincent labeled as interdisciplinary environmental and sustainability and energy programs, which of course go way back into the 70s for environmental studies and sciences. And these programs and fields see a parallel increase. Now here's the messiness. We've had the addition of minors and concentrations and certificates. If you search the ASHE database today, you'll get over 3,500 sustainability and sustainability-related programs, depending on which search terms you use. All of these programs have been created for students who are interested in sustainability. They want to learn about climate change. They want jobs and careers where they can make a difference for their future. It's a future impacted by climate crisis, as Brian Alexander discussed in his book, Universities on Fire, Higher Education in Climate Crisis. At the same time, higher education faces many other challenges, including enrollment declines, the lack of perceived value of college degree, consolidation, a changing workforce, economy, and political landscape. It's really important to strengthen sustainability programs now so that they will survive this consolidations and so that sustainability programs can help to transform and lead their institutions. The problem is that a student going to college today might not know where to begin to navigate this complexity. What should they major in? What type of degree should they get? And how far should they go in their education before getting a job? There are several organizations in this space, and each is kind of contributing to a different piece of the puzzle. ASHE manages the across the disciplines sustainability across the curriculum approach. GCSE has stepped in on the sustainability degree programs. The Association for Environmental Studies and Sciences in the yellow manages environmental studies and sciences. And the North American Association for Environmental Education accredits environmental education training programs. These are degrees for education in nature centers and other situations outside higher ed. The new organization in the space, the National Sustainability Society, really wants to be at that intersection of degrees and jobs and the sustainability workforce. Even the Carnegie elective classifications are looking at contributing in this space. So what's a student to do? I added this asterisk to remind me to mention that this stock art photo actually represents the majority of degree holders with master's degrees in sustainability. They tend to skew female and to be 70 or even 80% Caucasian. It's very important to diversify this degree field so that we can diversify the field of sustainability and have access to these jobs in more communities and for more underrepresented student populations. So at GCSE, we asked 2 interns from Northeastern University to explore 100 degree programs, imagining that they wanted to study sustainability. And here are keywords from the program titles that they found. That's all part of the messiness. Now the skills gap. You've probably read one or more of these reports or scholarship exploring this gap between what employers are looking for and new skills and reporting that is being required and what higher education is able to produce. There are more sustainability jobs than graduates able to meet the skills of those jobs. So for example, there's a tension between keeping up with fast-moving technical skill sets and developing the more long-term professional skills for sustained change management. We like to debunk the myth of the sustainability career pipeline, as if a student with a sustainability interest can just go to college, get a sustainability degree, which will spit them out into a sustainability career. It doesn't really work like that. It's more of a career watershed. Students enter sustainability jobs from a wide variety of undergraduate degree fields, and their interests are in all parts of this watershed. Like the water cycle, students also cycle through higher education, picking up more skills as they move into the next stages of their careers. To use another water term, what we see is a confluence between this proliferation of sustainability programs and a skills gap in the training. This leads to questions of quality, diversity, and impact. What is going on in a sustainability degree, and is it worth it? This work seeks to address the advice of the NASEM report, which said, it is important to ascertain how core competencies are translated into program-level learning outcomes, assessment tools, and effective curricula for a broad array of institutions of higher learning. This is why this work is valuable to the field. It's really a backwards design situation. How can we make more prepared sustainability professionals? We need quality sustainability degree programs. How do we get those? We use consistent program level standards, which currently do not exist. And to inform those standards, we offer a competency framework, the key competencies in sustainability. The key competencies in sustainability are 8 interrelated competencies. A key competency refers to a cluster of competencies. They're all interrelated and they all integrate values thinking, which plays a leading role. We have developed a free learning module designed for approximately first-year students in sustainability. And I'll introduce Susila Bhagavatula to show you a little bit about the module.
Hi, my name is Susila. I'm from Germany, and I got interested in studying sustainability when I learned about climate change and the effects that humans have on the planet in a geography class during high school. I went on to study geoecology in my bachelor's and moved on to environmental policy for my master's. I've just started a PhD in sustainability at Arizona State University. Just like any professional, say a doctor or a lawyer or a technology expert, there's a certain skill set and way of thinking that we learn in sustainability education, which is still evolving to meet the needs of communities and prepare students for careers across different sectors of the new green economy and for life. I'm going to give you an overview of the key competencies in sustainability framework and talk you through an example so you can apply this framework to a sustainability challenge that you care about. This module is for students, faculty, employers, community members, or anyone interested in how sustainability thinking can help you work with others to choose actions that make a difference. After completing this learning module, you will be able to describe the key competencies in sustainability framework, apply the 8 interrelated competencies to your own example, and reflect on applications, uses, and improvements of the framework. The learning module is organized in short sections. Each section starts with a video that talks through one example and a workbook for you to think through your own example. There are flashcards to reinforce important points and a short quiz at the end to test your understanding, as well as a place to share your examples about real-world, localized sustainability solutions you are working on. After completing the videos, the workbook, the flashcards, and the quiz, you'll receive a certificate that we hope will remind you to continue to reflect on your own thinking.
The key competencies has converged and evolved with lots of scholarship and research going back to the mid-2000s. And we've been witnessing a convergence over time across international initiatives, particularly in the European Union and Australia, across experts and key stakeholders. We've listed many of these key papers, scholarship, and reports also on our website, organized by different stakeholders, what students might like to read, what program directors might be interested in, as well as a focus on international perspectives, justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion, and links to other learning modules that have been created. In 2023, we published a proposal statement assessing this convergence and gathered another round of input to develop the framework. The proposal statement was mentioned in the ASHE Sustainable Campus Index as a key publication in the field for 2023. And I mention this just to note the collaboration across multiple organizations in the sustainability space. This year, we'll be publishing the Convergence Statement, a user's guide for key competencies. This statement will, for the first time, offer program learning outcomes at different levels, from associates, bachelor's, master's, and PhD levels. These are model statements to help programs key their own program learning statements too. They will also include a definition, as well as concepts and specific methods and technical tools entailed in each competency at each level. I think this is going to be really helpful. Which brings us to the question, but what is a sustainability program anyway? Going back into the research, we explored the 4-dimension model, which was originally proposed by Arnim Week and Aaron Redman, and we've unpacked it to address these questions of scope and scale. Our true goal is to provide dynamic, context-sensitive guidance for a wide diversity of programs. So here's the 4D model. It goes from generic to specific, as well as content dependent to content independent. The key competencies in sustainability framework builds upon professional competencies, which build upon general competencies in parallel to disciplinary competencies and content knowledge. Key competencies include planning competencies, professional competencies, and action competencies. Professional competencies are similar to People skills. It's things like communication and project management, team building and ethics. General competencies are described by 21st century skills, or sometimes second half of the 21st century skills, things like critical thinking, creativity, and learning. The key competencies evolve those general competencies and professional competencies. And the content, the swiftly moving, evolving content in topic areas like climate, water, energy, and food, these are still taught inside the academic disciplines. Even though we talk a lot about interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary work, we still need those academic disciplines because of the complexity of content-dependent information. Another view of this shows the thread of key competencies through general education, sustainability across the curriculum, sustainability-related disciplinary-based programs. That's a bit of a mouthful, but this would be something like a green MBA or an architecture program with a concentration in green building, to sustainability degree programs, which really emphasize the key competencies in a more generic way. It's a skill set more so than the content knowledge. Some other characteristics that emerge to define and describe genuine sustainability degree programs are these four. They prepare students for careers in sustainability across all sectors. These degrees have a problem-solving, change-making orientation to meeting sustainability challenges. They are attendant to climate literacy and environmental justice, as well as environmental literacy and climate justice. And they move towards transdisciplinary and trans-academic program design with contextual awareness of institutional type, resourcing, faculty assets, regional needs and interests. A wide variety of sustainability programs exist. Which brings us to the best practices for sustainability and sustainability-related programs. Even though sustainability programs are all unique, at the end of the day, programs got to do program stuff. And we have found 8 areas where best practices can be shared across this wide variety of programs. These are the 4 core areas: the unit organization, curriculum and content, teaching and learning, assessment and evaluation, and these are the support areas. Those programs cannot be strong without top-level leadership and institutional mission, commitment to sustainability, campus sustainability, as well as community engagement, student support, and support for faculty. Our aim, again, is to provide dynamic, context-sensitive guidance on best practices, as well as the conditions that enable them. We call these 8 areas the grounded areas of excellence, and they inform standards, which will be detailed over the next year, coming to provide some coherent standards for best practices in these programs. At the same time, we hope to encourage programs to build their own transformative themes and topics. Not every program can teach everything related to sustainability, but how can a program take their strength, their topic area, maybe it's food systems, maybe it's energy, maybe it's water, and weave it through these standards to help this program be more visible and more improved. Here again are the 8 grounded areas. At the workshops I mentioned and the program director's cohort, we'll be sharing the draft best practices in these areas in order to gain more input from program directors about how their programs meet or don't meet or couldn't possibly meet these aspirational best practices for these programs. And in conclusion, I can share with you the structure and components of the Pathways Towards Accreditation initiative. We rely on the inclusive participation of stakeholders like you. We build on the key competencies in sustainability, taking a research-oriented, scholarship-based approach to this work. We develop and share resources such as the Key Competencies Learning module that I shared in this presentation. And we are working with the community to develop standards, best practices, transformative themes, and topics for pathways towards accreditation. Our goal is to develop guidelines for program level accreditation in 2025. All of this work, we seek to center justice, equity, diversity, inclusion, and accessibility. This work is funded by the Cynthia and George Mitchell Foundation. Our stakeholder input has been led by the Sustainability Education Leadership Advisory Council, which will continue next year. And we have held roundtables with employers, students and alumni, and higher education experts. We've had many, many workshops, many interviews, and we seek to include diverse voices wherever possible. Communication and dissemination, a lot of these conversations take place at key conferences in the field. Here's a few of the presentations and a book chapter that we wrote last year. And here are some ways that we'd like to expand participation in 2024. We're expanding a scholars team and continuing the community of practice. We would like to form or explore an industry or workforce advisory group to get more information from employers on meeting that sustainability skills gap that I mentioned. We'd love to continue talking with students and recent alumni because they have the most on-the-ground input in order to improve and evolve these degree programs. And the real audience for this work is the program directors, those who are designing, assessing, and teaching in sustainability and sustainability-related degree programs. This year, we'll be at the Association for Environmental Studies and Sciences, the National Sustainability Society. We're holding a workshop on the East Coast at George Washington University, details coming soon. We'll be at ASHE in Anaheim, California, and the North American Association for Environmental Education in Pittsburgh. Hope to see you there. Here's a QR code if you'd like to be invited to any of these meetings, workshops, or cohort or conversations. You can scan this QR code to fill out a form, or you can just email me, Krista Hiser, krista@gcseglobal.org. This campfire slide refers to a quote from a wonderful workshop facilitator named Sylvia Hadnot at an NAAEE workshop on inclusive facilitation. And she said, you know, a problem like proliferation and messiness, or a problem like the skills gap, a problem is like a campfire that we can all sit around. And this is how we change the culture. Thank you for your interest in this work, and I look forward to working with you.